to my wife's head. This is a remote that controls a device that's been decompressing the glass beneath you. You have the wrong person. No, I have exactly the right person.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2025 action thriller, The Amateur. The film is directed by James Hawes and it stars Rami Malek, Rachel Brosnahan, John Bernthal and Lawrence Fishburne. Now the film follows Rami Malek's character Hella, who is a CIA analyst essentially. He is the guy that sits behind the desk with a computer screen, gathers intel, etc. He is married to Sarah, played by Rachel Brosnahan, and she has to go on a trip to London. However, while on that trip, she is abducted by terrorists as a hostage and basically killed to make a statement. He is shown this footage by his department heads at the CIA. He is obviously distraught by this and he blackmails his superiors into training him enough so that he can go after the people who killed his wife. They agree, but only because they want to get a little bit of time so they can find this information that he's got on them to blackmail them. However, he outsmarts them, goes off on his own and starts tracking down the people that killed his wife. Right. What are my thoughts on The Amateur? Well, I've been quite looking forward to seeing this. It's one of those films that kind of crept up on me. I didn't know a great deal about this one, not heard a great deal about it, and then it came out at the cinema and started doing quite well, so the buzz was sort of getting out there with this one. And when you kind of look at the plot here, it's something we've seen before many times, but one thing I didn't know is this is actually a remake of a 1981 film of the same title, and that I had absolutely no idea. It's based on essentially a novel that was made into a film in 1981, and obviously now it's been remade. So, I mean, that was quite interesting to me. Didn't realise it was a remake at all. But, like I say, it still follows a very familiar pattern for films like this. I mean, you've got films like American Assassin that came out a few years ago that I quite enjoyed. Even Arnie's Collateral Damage, it's got a little feel of a bit of a vibe for that as well. Spy Game, I mean, there's the list goes on and on and on, really, of kind of films that it kind of leans into. But ultimately, it is Rami Malek out for revenge for those that killed his wife, and and that's the hook of the film, really. Everybody doubts him, his superiors doubt him, those that trained him doubt him, those that know him doubt him. So everybody keeps underestimating Hella, this character. He manages to get a bit of help while he's out in the field in order to take these people out in a way that is best suited to his skills, because he is not a cold-blooded killer in a sense of he can't look you in the eyes and pull a trigger. He's not that kind of killer, but he is skilled in other areas, so he kind of does different things in regards to taking these killers down, and that makes the film again a little bit more interesting. It's not just some guy who has never held a gun before, and then he's got a gun, and then suddenly he's brilliant and he's cold-blooded and he becomes this great assassin. Again, we've seen all that before many times, and it's fairly unbelievable, to be fair. And this guy is not like that at all. He's not a killer in the usual sense of the word. He is not that person, so he has to do it in different ways. And Rami Malek, being the actor that he is, very talented, gives quite a layered performance here for Hella. I questioned whether I would buy this lad. This lad, I nearly called him. This guy is like an action lead. And while this isn't what I would describe as a traditional action film, it's more of a thriller than action film. There are definitely moments where he has to get physical, so to speak. And he handles it quite well in a way that his character would handle it, and that is kind of he bundles his way through things. And I think it works well for the film. I think those of you going into this wanting like a John Wick, Equalizer, or Jason Bourne type film, you're not getting that here. You're getting a much more grounded approach, even though the subject matter is fantastical and it's completely out of the realms of possibility. But still, it feels a little bit more grounded. It feels a little bit more sewn into reality, that this guy is what he's doing and the reasons that he's doing it. But it still does have moments in the film where it's just dumb. I think one of the first scenes that you see of him when he goes into the field to start tracking these people down. One of the first things you see him do is picking a lock, but he doesn't know how to pick a lock. So he has to look at a YouTube video to teach him how to pick a lock. But he's doing it literally as he's trying to pick a lock, watching it with the sound on. And I thought that was the dumbest thing I think I've seen in a film for a while. Like you would do that literally at the time. Surely you would have watched that video, memorized it, and practiced a few times before you do it. It was a really, really dumb scene. The film doesn't do a great job of establishing a relationship between Hella and his wife Sarah. They get a brief moment at the beginning of the film. Yes, it's established that they're married. Yes, it's established that they're in love. But you don't feel that connection really at all. And you get a few flashbacks here and there, but I think the film could have done a better job with kind of developing that and establishing that. And you've got John Bernthal here in this film. And again, it's frustrating to me because he's barely in this. What frustrates me is these are the sort of films he should be the lead in, not somebody that's 3 or 4 times down on the cast list. He's barely in this. I bet he gets 10 minutes screen time tops, and that's me being generous. So I just don't understand why he takes roles like that. I really, really don't. Okay, yes, this is a cinema release. Yes, it's done reasonably well at the box office. But still, John Bernthal, I think, is in leading man material, and I wish he'd realised that, in my opinion. But what we get here is a solid action thriller with a very, very familiar story. It's competently made. It's got good performances, and it does kind of everything that you expect it to do on the tin. It just, like I said, don't go into this expecting John Wick full-on over-the-top action, because that's not the kind of film that you get in here. So that's my thoughts on The Amateur. Let me know your thoughts if you've seen the film or if you're planning to see it, and I will, of course, be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.